Hey, it's Mike Naylor. I'm going to show you exactly how to build a local page for your website. You know, that's one of the best ways and easiest ways to get ranked for local SEO is if you have pages for all of the little cities in your service area. So I'm going to use an example of a roofing website, and we're going to go through exactly step by step how to create that page. First, I'm going to do it manually, and then I'm going to show you some tricks that we've learned over time. So this is inside of our WordPress system here, and we're going to go ahead and add a page. Now we know what the locations are in our city or in our area because we went through and looked up a list of them on Wikipedia or some other place. So I have the Astra theme installed here, which makes it very quick. We're going to go ahead and just start with a piece here, and it's going to be our page title, and then below that okay, so this is roofing, residential roofing in Springfield, VA. And then we're going to talk just briefly about what it is we do. Roofing repair or installation for homes and businesses in Springfield, VA. Now we want to write this in such a way that it encourages people to look and click, but it also speaks to the keywords that people might be searching for. And so I'm putting a lot of those keywords in here. Residential roofing, we're talking about repair, installation. We're adding that there. Now, because this is Astra, we can go pretty quick by adding some pieces here. Services list. We'll just go ahead and drop one of these here. Oops. Oh, there we go. We wanted to put that down here. Whew. If you've ever built a page, you know you go through these things all the time. So here we want to make sure that we're going to talk about your key services that you provide. And so our roofing services in Spring, we want to make sure that we list the city name naturally, but not too much. And so here is a keyword, roofing services, or that we would be considering adding. And so then we want to make sure that we list all of our services, and we want to make sure that these link to the pillar pages on our site. So this roofer is going to do steel roofing services, and they're going to do asphalt shingles, and they're going to do TPO roofing, and they're going to do, we're going to call it flat roofing. Even though I know TPO is flat, we're just looking at the keywords that people might be searching for. We're going to do tar and gravel roofing. I know you're not installing that. The point here is, of course, keyword that people might be searching for. And then the last piece that I'm going to talk about is roofing repair. And then each one of these spaces we can talk just a little bit about what roofing services that we provide, right? We install all types of steel roofing, including 30-year roofs, 50-year roofing, whatever we're talking about here. We only use the highest quality certainteed shingles for our roofs. Verified. Dollars. And then TPU roofing, commercial or residential roof, flat roofing solutions. TPO roofing can outlast many other options. And then flat roofing, this just speaks to the other thing. And so what are some other flat roofing options a person could have besides TPU? I don't know, Duralast. Tar and gravel roofing is mostly worn out by now, but we can just speak to it a little bit. So what we're doing, of course, is we're adding the details on each one of these. Now, a website has got to have internal linking. So it makes sure that all the pages in the site link back and forth to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and add some internal links. This has got to go to my steel roofing page. And asphalt, we want that to link to my asphalt shingles page, and so on. So we're going to go through and add all of those as we build the website. Now we need to add some other stuff that's going to allow us to rank for SEO purposes. So we want to have a paragraph or two that's sales copy, but also that speaks to what the search engines are going to be looking for. And of course, you can write that next piece with ChatGPT or any other tool that'll do it. So we'll just come down to this block and we'll add a paragraph. Roofing stuff, including all of the major keywords we need. And so we want to make sure that we're going to do all the keywords that are important for Springfield, Virginia, as well as all of the other pieces. We want to talk about our services. We want to talk about our business. We want to talk about some trust builders. We've been in business over 25 years, certified, certaintied, certified, whatever trust builds that we're going to want to make sure that we include in the page, and all that helps to make it so that filling out this site. And you can obviously use ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever to help fill this out. Then you got to get after the SEO portion. So I already showed you we need to do some internal site linking to all the other pages in our site, particularly to the pillar pages. But then we need to go through and what's our focus keyword phrase here? It's going to be roofing Springfield VA roofer. And then we need to add our SEO title and our slug. This is what the page is going to be found at. And so this is going to be VA roofing. And then a meta description. This is what helps people click on it in Google. So we want to write something really good there. As I go through this whole process, this whole thing takes me probably an hour per page once I get going on the first one. Once we've got this page complete, now we kind of have a template that we want to use. And so we would save this page, and then we're going to go back to our WordPress, and we're going to find that page in this list, the one that we just created, which is called, we forgot to give it a title. Roofing in Springfield, VA. So now we've got that one. We can use other plugins if we want to duplicate it, and then we just need to fill out that data over and over again. And how many cities are in our service area? Well, here in Virginia, in the area that my roofer would cover, which is an hour in every direction, there's about 30 or 40 different cities that we would want to build a page for. So we want to go through those step by step and create a city for each one. That is the basic steps for how you would create those pages, and then they're here in your WordPress, and then each one of them we're going to want to build backlinks to and everything else over time. Now I want to show you briefly this tool that we've been using that actually makes this whole process a lot easier. The tool is called LocalPages. So we click here to LocalPages, and then we fill out our business information. Our business name is Jeff's Roofing. We have a business description. We're a roofing company that installs all kinds of roofs. We choose our primary service. It's a roofing contractor. These are our keywords, the main ones that we're targeting for. All of these can come through keyword research and other things, but we can add as many as we want. So we can talk about storm damage. We can add as many keywords as we want to have there. We put our phone number in here so that because we want to make sure that all of this information matches exactly what we have on our Google business. We have our address. This is the website URL. Right now this one's just set because I'm running a local site for this image. And then we have our colors and so on. So we just fill this out right down the line. We're going to go ahead and choose what AI provider that we're going to use to write these pages. You can test that. Once you get that in and test it, then it's ready to go and it's ready to write. Let me pause this briefly. Okay, once we put all that in, then we're going to go ahead and paste in our API key. And then we hit test connection. We can choose whatever model we like. For this test, I'm going to go ahead and use Gemini Flash. Once we have our API key loaded and our connection is successful, now we go through the quick process. What locations are we going to create? Now, we can put in a list of as many as we want, up to 100. But we're just going to add what we want here. Any of the locations in and around the area, you can either paste them in a CSV file, or you can just type them in up here. Any other ones that you haven't added down there? Woodbridge, VA. Any ones you type in there, they just show up down here. So there's Woodbridge. Then for each one of these, we can choose an image that we want to have show up on the page if we want. And then it's ready to go. The slug is what the address of it's going to be. We can include the zip code or not. It's entirely up to us. We jump into content. This is where we identify our pillar pages. So the main pages we want to link them back to is asphalt shingles, steel roofing. Those are our two pillar pages on this site, and the main services page. And from there, we just come down here, we choose the images from our WordPress images that we want to include on these sites. Let's see, we want that one, we want that one. Great. Okay, and hit use. Any of the images we select there, they'll just rotate through the pages. We can have an unlimited number there. Choose the content code, how many frequently asked questions we want on each page. Any trust signals we know. In business over 25 years, bonded and insured. 100 plus 5-star Google reviews. Whatever trust signals that you can think of that are going to be relevant, we put them right there. And that helps the AI to write the pages as easy as pie. Then we choose the internal links per page, and it's going to link to these pages around it to different geographies. Geographic proximity is perfect. It just makes it practical and normal. You come back up to the top, you hit review. These are all of the pages that it's going to create. And then you go into generate. Hit generate location pages. It tells you it's going to create these websites. You say okay. And then it starts generating them. It just takes a couple of minutes and all of those pages pop out. Okay, generation's complete. That took about 2 minutes to do those 7 pages. It estimates how much it cost. For those 7 pages, it cost me about half of 1 cent. So no big deal. We were using the Gemini Lite, which is very easy to create with. So then what it does is it creates a location served page that'll link to all of those so they're not orphan sites, and then we can look at all the new pages. So those pages are available inside the edit pages, and then we can come in here and look at the text that's going to be on each and every one of them. We can change the text. There's the title, the meta description automatically generated. This one looks like it accidentally went too long. So if we want to go in there and adjust that, we can, whatever kind of tiny changes that we want to make. It already created us a headline, the hero subtitle, and then each of these pieces was local researched and identified what we can put for those local things for that city. All these come down to a call to action. It links to the contact page, call now, include the picture that we chose, and then these are the frequently asked questions added to every single page. If we're happy with those, we can hit Save Changes, and then it just shows up among these pages here. Anytime we love a page that's been created, what we can do is just hit Convert to Standalone, and then that saves it as a WordPress page, an actual WordPress page. It doesn't live in the plugin anymore. It's permanently there, so you can make any changes to it later just through the regular WordPress interface that you want. All of these pages can exist on the site as they are. If you don't like the way that it looks and you just want to hit regenerate again, any one of these you can hit this button and it'll just regenerate. Every single time you make a change, you need to type in your API key again, and this is for your security. So we've got that API key, you just need to put it in here. We don't store it, it doesn't transmit it, it only uses it once to create stuff and then it deletes it. So that's what that pause was. But that page that we just created, it shows up here in these are all of the new ones, and we can take a look at any of them. So here we go. This is the page that it created with just a couple of clicks. So you've got a call to action, you've got your phone number up there, you've got a strong headline and description, you've got the picture that we chose in the background. It comes through the services, it says why choose us, another call to action. Then you've got built in all these other trust builders and steps as you go. This is an actual WordPress page, so if we want to edit it, we edit it the same as every other WordPress page. I click Edit Page, and it shows me up in here, and then I'm looking at all these blocks, and I can make any changes to any of the blocks, to the text that's there, or we can rearrange it as we go. Super easy, super affordable, super easy to go. So I would like to invite you to go ahead and take a look at this plugin. It'll save you tons of time. You can create 70 pages or 100 pages if you need to for your WordPress site, and just scoop up those low competition keywords and actually start ranking for those other terms, those long-term keywords that you haven't been looking at before. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.